DramaCityProductions.com.
You are plugged in for the Podcast Wrestling Society, where you can get dynamic weekly pro wrestling and MMA related content. Give us a follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PODWRES Society so that you can stay in the know.
Faith is the place, and the sky's the limit.
And if you like what you hear, give us a 5-star review and hit that subscribe button.
Woo! 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 Woo!
Now, your host, he is the
One and only
Troy Adams.
Join us for Wrestling Wednesday every single week, where we bring you the latest and greatest from around the wrestling and MMA world here at the Podcast Wrestling Society. I'm your loving leader, benevolent host, Midwest Monster, and the only man asking for the Championship Scramble match to be re-added to WWE 2K, Troy Adams. And joining the society today, he was voted co-host Rookie of the Year for 2017 by None of Your Business magazine. He is Das Wonder Dude. He is Greg. What up, Greg?
What up?
The hell? Don't start with that crap.
Channeling my inner Jim Cornette.
Well, then you gotta have a trash mouth and talk about how terrible God is and the Republicans and all that stuff. And
Oh, yeah, but, at the end of the day, I'll get to like WWE, right? Because I know how much he loves it.
oh, well, yeah, he loves the new product. That's his favorite. Everything new is great. Well, he especially loves New Japan with all the flippy stuff and all that. My gosh.
Young Bucks, mother effer.
Yeah. Hashtag dive.
Yeah. He hates them, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think he likes them as people, but he hates, anything they do in the ring. Because,
And he hates them, but he loves Joey Ryan, right?
Oh, yeah, he absolutely loves Joey Ryan. Absolutely. Wow.
Cool.
This was just... Can we not give that guy any more airtime? Yeah, well, anyway, for those of you out there joining us...
That are still there.
Yeah, after that stupid intro. Thank you for joining us today. We do want to let you know, before we get into all the news that is the news, about our new hookup with Wrestling with Wrestling. WrestlingWithWrestling.com is your one-stop shop for all your news, videos, interviews, podcasts, you name it. They've got the news and reports right there on the homepage, and you can go to various sections for WWE, Impact Wrestling, New Japan and Ring of Honor, indie wrestling from here in the States and abroad. They've got videos from various indie federations that you can check out. They've got great podcasts. If you go to the matches, interviews, and podcasts section, you can see interviews with various pro wrestlers, either from the past or present. They've got the MLW Fusion podcast, where you can see what the hell is going on in MLW. Podcasts like 205 Jive and WWE Main Event Curtain Jerkin' It with friend of the show, Jacob Grandi. They've got the Andre Corbeil Show, and of course, this podcast right here and all of our videos from YouTube, WrestlingWithWrestling.com, covering all four corners of the ring. And of course, while we're shilling everything right now, we want to tell you how you can advertise with the Podcast Wrestling Society, and you can figure out how to be a part of the society. If you head on over to advertisecast.com/Podcast Wrestling Society, you can hear the latest episodes of the show. You can see a description of what the show is if you're a new-time listener. You can see the About the Host section, where you learn all about me, your loving leader, benevolent host, and Midwest Monster. There's also the statistics of our audience, kind of our demographic, our reach on social media, a description of our reach, the interests of the podcast, all that stuff. And then, of course, the most important thing, you can see our rates. So you can figure out how to advertise and what we're charging. We will take 10, 15, 30, and 60-second ads and promos, whether you're selling a podcast, whether you're selling a product, whatever it is, hit us up. We will be more than happy to advertise for you. Advertisecast youtube.com/podcast Wrestling Society. And I think that's enough shilling of our wares for right now, don't you think, Greg?
No, more.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I will tell you about our offers with redbubble.com, but, with our merchandise, but we'll get to that a little later. Right now, let's dive into some news, shall we? I think it's about time to be getting into all that. Of course, later, Kyle and I will bring you all of the fallout from Super Showdown. I don't know why I can never remember the name of that damn show.
But I don't know if I'm looking forward to it, so I don't blame you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm somewhat looking forward to it, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm like half and half. For all of you that don't know, Greg and I are recording before the pay-per-view, so...
Oh, you gave it away!
Yeah, and we are also recording this before UFC 229, so we will not have post...
Which will be bigger than Super Show.
Well, of course, it's bigger than a lot of things. But yeah, so we will not have any post-show news from that. However, we will do a wrap-up and give our opinions on the show. That will be exclusive to YouTube, though. So go to youtube.com and search for the Podcast Wrestling Society. And don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell on the videos to be notified whenever we post some new content.
Remember, if you subscribe, Troy's going to contact you personally and thank you.
I will not. That is false advertisement, Greg. That is fake news. We only do real news. Fake news. Okay? Not huge.
You do that too well.
Not huge. Not big league. No. Speaking of which, Donald Trump's hair is in the game, WWE 2K19 again.
Oh, well, I'm sold.
Exactly. That's a selling point right there. But I took a picture of it.
I just love that you know that already.
Yeah, well, I was going through the different hair in the created wrestler mode, and I found that, and I went, "Oh my lord, it's in again!" And I was talking to Kyle, and I was like, "Check this out!" And I take a picture and I send it to him over Facebook, and the caption of the picture just said, "Huge." He's like, "Holy crap!" I'm like,
Winning.
"Yeah, it's in the game, bro." I was like, "You can create him, and then you can create Obama, and you can have a war of the presidents." Or you can make them a tag team.
I'd rather create Trump and Rosie O'Donnell. Remember that amazing match they had on Raw?
Oh, man.
That was epic, man.
Well, yeah, it's just like words cannot express the epicness of that moment. It will live in infamy forever. And, like, I don't understand when they had Raw 25 not too long ago, why they didn't bring that up and show highlights of it again. That was huge. That was a big moment. It was right up there.
I would argue that was the moment, but yeah.
Yeah, it was right up there with HLA, man. Oh, what? Yeah, that's right. I got an HLA reference in. But anyway, yeah, if you go to YouTube...
There's anything wrong with that.
Yeah. If you go to God dang it. If you go to youtube.com and search for the Podcast Wrestling Society, you'll find our channel. It's the same logo on there as you see on all of our podcasts. And you subscribe, and not only will you get the wrap-up and our opinions on UFC 229 and an exclusive video, but you will also see the list, bro, for this week, which Greg and I are bringing you the top 10 betrayals in wrestling history. Should be good. I'm excited for that one, actually, because...
it was tough.
Yeah, I want to see...
picking 10.
I know. There were quite a few good ones. I've bumped so many off my list. I have some honorable mentions. I'll wait until both of us list, our top 10, and then I shall go over those. But, yeah. So check those out. And, of course, like I said, after the news, Kyle and I are bringing you the wrap-up and the fallout from what happened at Super Showdown. It's going to be a long haul, 4 hours of wrestling starting at 4 a.m. Eastern Time for me, which would be 1 a.m. Pacific Time for you, Greg.
Yeah, I think, something. I don't know. I never got that time zone thing.
Yeah, it's just time zones don't make sense. I don't know. You out there in Narnia time. So, But anyway, and those, and,
This is real, folks.
so somebody actually said this crap. But yeah, so 4 p.m. Eastern, or sorry, 4 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Central, 1 a.m. Pacific, and people in Mountain Time can go screw themselves. So,
Wow. How do you really feel?
I'm in Mountain Time. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, screw Denver.
I knew you would agree. All right. Let's get...
For no other reason than the Broncos.
Oh, well, that has to be the one. But,
Not
yeah.
like the Nuggets are a threat to me or anything.
The Nuggets are never a threat.
Well, nobody's a threat to me. I'm a Warriors fan. But anyways, move on.
Well, now, for the last few years, I guess, Carmelo Anthony can yell with pride, I am not a Nugget!
Wow. I never thought of that.
Hilarious, right? Does anybody get that? Come on. Shout out to Owen Hart and the Attitude Era. Come on. Not one of his brightest moments, but it was fun.
Jason Sensation, who I think made that even bigger.
He did. Yeah, he did. As big as that fake nose he wore. But yeah. My God. All right. Well, let's dive into the WWE news here. All right. Well, first thing I got here, according to the Wrestling Observer, the idea was always to have a build to the Brothers of Destruction versus DX Tag Team match to headline Crown Jewel, and that would lead to an Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels program. So it was never really about Undertaker versus Triple H.
Is that what Uncle Dave said?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, I'll say this. I believe it. Doesn't seem far-fetched. I don't know, like, don't get me wrong. I think Undertaker and Shawn Michaels could still tear the house down pretty well, but at the same time,
Not with Michaels being that bald.
Doesn't that look weird? And when
weird doesn't even begin to describe it, dude.
And when you're bald and got the googly eye and you're a little out of shape, how dare you come to the ring to a song that says "I'm a sexy boy"? Like,
might as well have Baron Corbin do it.
Oh my! I know, right? Him and Baron Corbin could be weirdo brothers. They both look weird as hell, bald. Triple H can pull it off somewhat, but the other two, I just like, why? And Baron Corbin looks even weirder dressing the way he does while bald.
I'm going to say Shawn Michaels doing it for the same reason Larry Zbyszko did it. Maybe he found like a hair thing that's going to make his hair healthy when it grows back. That's why Larry Zbyszko did it.
I hope so. I don't know. Yeah, because, I mean, he was balding, but I don't know, like, he had like a little bit of a bald spot. He was like thinning up top, but it wasn't like terrible where he had to shave it. I don't know. I think if he was going to cut his hair, I think he should have went with where he just whacked off the don't say anything dirty. But anyway, he just whacked off the ponytail and
I didn't
left it that way. Why do we have to have Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker 5021?
Because screw you.
I guess. This kind of goes back to Kevin Nash.
They're just like reaching for stuff now, man. When HCW is coming, dude.
Oh,
so they need a huge main event.
My God, let's not go there. All right, let's
not yet, anyways.
My God, this story does kind of fly back to, I guess, recently at some speaking engagement, whatever, for the NWO. Like Kevin Nash said, nobody cares about the young guys anymore. It's all about like the old timers.
Yeah.
People said he was insane, which he is, but I don't know. He's just trying to put himself over like always. It's all about us. Like, yeah, people care about you because you're a legend, but people weren't like when the NWO was hot. Nobody like you didn't see Bruno Sammartino coming out. It's like nobody cares about the young guys anymore. It's all about us.
Nash is nuts, man. That's like.
I know. Moments after that quote, by the way, his quad exploded.
You don't say.
While a brand versus brand match might happen, Survivor Series will not focus on the Raw versus SmackDown theme this year, according to WrestleVotes. The same source says that there is a good chance of a Team Baron Corbin versus Team Kurt Angle Survivor Series match, with the winning captain getting control of Raw. Seems likely.
I don't want it.
Why?
I want an amazing show.
So you don't think that that's going to be a good match?
No, I will. I was just playing.
I was going to say, I figured you're a mark for Baron Corbin. I figured you'd be all over that.
A little bit. He's all right.
Wow. Wrestling Observer says that it's clear that German indie WXW now has a working agreement with the WWE, like the one that Progress, ICW, and Evolve have.
Okay.
WWE's taken over, I guess. More to that story. PW Insider's report on changes to WWE Network again mentions Progress, ICW, and Evolve's tape libraries could be a part of the more expensive, possibly TV 14 rated tier. I don't know if I'd give a crap about that. I don't know. When it comes to paywalls, I'm never one to be like, oh, well, now I'm going to up my subscription. I just kind of stick with what's cheapest. If I can get all the WWE pay-per-views and NXT, I'm good. Oh, this story is sad. Pete Dunne is currently dealing with a foot injury, and there's conflicting reports on how severe it is.
Damn, man.
He did.
That means he probably won't be in War Games.
I don't know. I'll say this: if him sitting out War Games, will mean that if he just sits out for a month or two and he'll be okay, then fine, okay. But man, do you know?
No fine about that at all.
Well, I know you want to see him, but do you know?
Just look at the Young Bucks. Whatever. Keep going though.
Eat me. Not gonna happen. I'm telling you. And I said it, therefore it is. But if you know how long he's held onto that UK title? If he has to,
I think longer than Brock now.
Yes, and if he drops it due to injury, dude, how bad would that suck?
Rob Van Dam, ECW much?
Oh man, it just
That's exactly what happened with him. Remember, he was TV champ for 2 years, and then he never lost it because he broke his ankle.
Yeah,
his leg, or that was rough.
Well, Michelle McCool, Tori Wilson, I know you're listening now.
Mm-hmm.
Teddy Long, Vicky Guerrero, and reportedly Rey Mysterio are all booked for SmackDown 1000. So hooray.
All I care about is Evolution.
Yeah, that's the big one. Those other ones are cool, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'll never, ever complain about seeing Michelle McCool and Tori Wilson on my TV, so there's that. And I love Ray, so whatever. Charlie Caruso, this is my last story, and I know you're listening with that. Charlie Caruso joins ESPN under her real name, which is Charlie Arnold, but is not leaving WWE. So she's the female coach, but talented. Wah, wah, wah.
She's almost as good looking as Coach, too.
Oh, man. Yeah, but her theme song isn't as cool. Oh, man.
Whenever I hear that song, I just want to slap him in the face. I don't know why.
I know, because that song sucks. And it makes him seem like the lyrics you make acts like, oh, he's cool when he's not. So, I don't know.
Well, Ramon loves him.
No, man. Yeah, I know. We got a whole story about that in the archives. But anyway. All right. Well, that's all the WWE news I have. Let's move on to some New Japan news. First story I have is from your favorite source for wrestling news. It is the Wrestling Observer. Wrestling Observer newsletter.
Oh, yeah, hit me with it.
Yeah. Wrestling Observer newsletter says that there is a new regime in charge of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that there are people in charge who don't have a background in pro wrestling, and that's led to concern within the company.
Gee, I wonder if the Bucks are leaving.
Yeah, well, this scares me on many levels. As well, let's
Jim Herd much? Did he run a Pizza Hut too, or what?
I was gonna say let's take a quick break and let's think about how well this same philosophy worked out for another company by the initials of WCW back in the day. We can't have wrestling people in charge of the company. It's got to be outside of wrestling.
Ric Flair needs to shave his head and put an earring in his ear. Enough said.
Yeah, call yourself Spartacus. Nobody cares about Ric Flair. You're Spartacus, by God. Not even Vince McMahon was dumb enough to get a big star like that and be like, we got to change your name and shave your head, pal. Worst he did was
Well, you wanted to call Vader the Mastodon.
Yeah, and he did put Dusty Rhodes in polka dots. And
yes, but nowadays that's how a lot of people know him, so it became iconic. So
yeah, which is
at the time maybe it was stupid, but now it's like it's a thing. It's like iconic. So
I know
you can't really say anything about that.
And they saddled him with
that's how you identify him.
Sapphire.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's just. Here's a story just
I
for.
saw some good stuff coming to New Japan, dude.
Oh God, man! I was so hopeful when that Peter, I think his name is Peter May took over as president of the company. I was like, all right, he seems cool. He seems like a good business guy, and he respects the company and the culture and whatever. And he seems like he knows what he's doing. He might give it a more Western spin, but now he's bringing in all the damn it, man.
Don't worry, dude. You'll see the Bucks every Monday night.
Oh, eat it. What makes you think they'd go to Raw anyway?
Because, where else would they go?
That would be the last
Why would they
place.
put one of the hottest acts in all wrestling on SmackDown?
Because the New Day and the Usos are there. Like, who are they going to have good matches with on Raw besides the Revival? Like, that can...
I can see them having a good one with McIntyre and Ziggler.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't know. I think there's... The feuds that everybody really wants to see with them are on SmackDown. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
I still think they're going to get involved in War Games.
Oh, God. I hope not. I know you're hoping for it because you're going to be there. But here's a story just for you, by the way, while we're on that subject. There are some who believe that the Elite/Bullet Club will be going to WWE come next year. The plans could already be underway for it.
Yeah, and I told you that little clock timer thing you took a picture of or sent me. All it is doing is counting down to New Year's, dude. So it doesn't mean anything.
I know, they're trolling everybody. But, well, the biggest troll would be if nothing happens at all. They re-sign with New Japan and Ring of Honor, and boom, nothing happens. Everybody's like, oh, okay.
Would it be a troll job or just them telling the truth?
What, staying in where they are?
Well, they said that, so would that really be a troll job?
Well, they're basically trolling everybody who's out there. They would be trolling everybody who's out there saying, oh, they're definitely leaving 100%. They're going to go, and making a big thing out of it when they haven't. They themselves, the only time they ever say anything about it is when they're asked about it. They're not coming out and making statements. So they're
Why would they?
Well, they're more replying to people and
why would they come out and make statements though?
To troll.
They don't have to.
Yeah, but when people ask them about it, then they'll be like, oh, let's throw some gasoline on the fire and see how we can get the smarks all riled up like we always do.
Well, it's kind of getting you riled up.
I'm not really thinking anything about it. The only time I think anything about it is when you mention it. I don't know.
Sure.
Speaking of that, Uncle Dave noted on Wrestling Observer Radio that a bit on the latest Being the Elite about a Triple H note to Hangman Page was a nod to WWE making a play for him and Page deciding to stay with the Bullet Club. So for now, he's not coming to WWE, but he has not ruled it out if that's where the Bullet Club goes.
Well, I'm sure plans will change.
Well, what's funny is don't get me wrong, I like Hangman Page. I think he's very talented and all, and he's got a weird, I guess, cowboy style gimmick. I don't know. He wears cowboy boots, so whatever the hell. But he's cool and all, but he's just being dragged along for the ride, right?
Oh yeah.
There's
only 4 people that anyone wants. Anybody else is just extra.
Yeah, it's Cody, Kenny.
I mean,
and
it could even be
Bucks.
3. I mean, I don't really, I'm not hurting for Cody.
No, but and the thing is, this is what always makes me laugh. I'm seeing more and more and more people on the internet saying this. Oh, he's overrated and he's not as good as people say he is. No, I'm not saying he is. However, people are paying to see him when he's in the main event. So if you're gonna talk about him, quit paying your money to go see him. It's like Roman.
I'm pretty sure the people aren't the ones going to see him, though.
Perhaps. I mean,
I don't think there's a perhaps about that. Why the hell would they and then go watch him? There's no perhaps about that.
Most likely.
Makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They're probably not paying
if I
to
don't
see
like someone,
him,
I'm not
but-
going to go pay to see him. I mean, I wouldn't. If I lived in Chicago, I probably wouldn't have went to All In. Just because I don't really care about him.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, you didn't really care about much of that card anyway, so.
Oddly enough, the one match I wanted to see was that one, but
yeah.
it still turned out to just be another match that I was like, wow.
Well, they're going to have a rematch, It's going to be a 2 out of 3 falls match, actually.
Yeah, that one should be better.
Yeah, I think that'll be pretty good. I like both of those guys, so.
I was just kind of like let down at that match. I thought it was like, could have been better. I felt like it was missing something the whole time.
A little bit, but at the same time, I thought that was one of Cody's better matches that he's had in years, so. I don't know. I thought it could have been better, but yeah, at the same time, I felt it was, entertaining for what it was. But all right, well, that's all the New Japan news I have. Let's run through the couple stories I have from elsewhere in the wrestling world. First off, we gotta make
You're gonna say
what?
You're gonna say TNA. Just get it over with.
Well, we gotta make a stop at. They've moved south of the border now, Greg, so you care even more about them. Impact Wrestling will be holding their November TV tapings in Las Vegas. Oh man, that's closer to you. You can go.
You want to talk about money?
Well, yeah, man. High Rollers will be there in the front row. But you got to put them opposite Hard Cam, though, because, they talked about that on Pritchard's podcast. You put the High Rollers and whatever that get the comp tickets opposite from Hard Cam, whatever. But, because they're going to sell out, hanging from the rafters, man. Impact Wrestling.
From the are there even rafters in bingo halls?
Hey, whoa.
You hanging from the chandeliers or something?
Look, I'm assuming they're going to high school gymnasiums, all right? And yes, there are rafters in high school gyms. So there you go.
Yeah.
I'm I don't know if I'm sorry. I would apologize, but who the hell did I offend?
Impact's 2 fans.
The Impact fan. Do we abuse that too much, or is that? I think we say it just enough. But yeah, so that's a thing. By the way, did you see Discount La Parka come out to face Eli Drake down in Mexico?
No, I didn't watch any of that. Why would I?
I just saw a clip of him walking out, and people are saying, I don't know the difference. It's just a dude in a bodysuit and a mask. I can't really tell, but people are saying they're like, yeah, that was not La Parka. They announced him as La Parka. He was dressed as La Parka. They were like,
maybe it was L.A. Park.
Yeah, well, no, this was not La Parka. So I don't know. That was funny though.
Why is this even a thing?
I don't know. I'm like, did you just get a guy, put him in a mask? It was like, good enough. You're La Parka for tonight. Get out there. You're facing
Why
Eli
not? They
Drake.
did it with Suicide 100 times.
Oh, I know. There was like, 20 of them.
Yep.
Neville has returned to the ring for Dragon Gate, which is the most random choice I could have, I would have never called that in a million years.
I thought he was heading to Cincinnati.
Oh my gosh. Shut up. He's not going to wrestle hobos, Greg, even though he's got the beard rocking. He's still wearing his Neville gear, by the way. So, I don't know. Why Dragon Gate, though? Of all the freaking places, you can't tell me that people that can pay him more than Dragon Gate weren't willing to shell out some dough. I don't know. Maybe that's just a pit stop on his way back to WWE.
God, I hope.
Yeah, we'll see. Straight back to... Let's hope it's not straight back to 205 Live. Hopefully it's, for something more meaningful.
Oh, yeah, it won't be. It'll be the... whatever it's called when it changes name.
No.
It's not going to stay that forever.
Yeah, well, I hope it's not to any of that, because he's much better than all of that. He deserves better. He was bigger than that show when he was on it.
Well, hold on. When you walk out and quit because you can cry about stuff, you need to repay some dues. So maybe he's not better than that.
Well, it's hard to argue with that. So yeah, maybe pay a penance, eat some crap, stay on there for about 6 months, and then come up to the main roster.
No,
like
he comes back and he gets that Mighty Mouse gimmick that was teased for a while.
Hell no!
And then that's his.
Gosh,
too.
He has to start wearing the cape again with the hood. Man, let's not. Last story from elsewhere here. This one's actually kind of messed up. Tennille Dashwood revealed that she will be undergoing surgery to repair a shoulder injury. Man, she's just snake bit, man.
Oh, man, I wouldn't mind snake bite. Anyways.
Wow. But yeah, I guess she's going to be out for a long while. From what
She's going to come back as Emelina.
No, she'll be Tennillina. Because, she can't use...
works.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that going to be your HCW name? I'm just curious.
Hell. No, she... Well, and she
Got
also...
another one in there. Thought I was out of them.
Giggity. She also revealed, and I don't know what this had to do with anything. I mean, I feel bad for her, but she kind of snuck this into the promo that she's been battling psoriasis since she was 14, and it flared up.
I don't care. She still looks great.
Yeah, well, I don't know. She said she's been battling it since the age of 14, and she said it flared up really bad a while ago, and she had to take some time off. I was like, ugh, good Lord, that sucks. I feel bad for her. But yeah, she just can't cut a break in her career, man. Like, she's always down, like, with some kind of freaking injury. Oh, well.
That sucks.
Yeah, I know. But, yeah, that's all the wrestling news I have, the scripted stuff. So, I guess it's time to dive into our shoot sports here with some UFC news, bro.
This is a shoot, bro.
Wow. According to ESPN's Brett Okamoto on Twitter, the main event for UFC 230 on November 3rd will be Valentina Shevchenko versus, help me out here, Sijara Eubanks.
I don't even know who the hell that is. It was supposed to be Joanna Jacek.
Yeah, well.
And they canceled it. And I guess she didn't even get word about it. She heard about it on the internet. That's pretty messed up.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think she deserved the title fight. Like you just said, who the hell is that Eubanks woman? I don't know how the rankings work in frickin' UFC, man.
They don't.
I guess not. So, like I'm not even going to try to pronounce. I guess Sijara, whatever. Eubanks. She has had 5 fights in her career. 5, and she's 3-2. She's just above 500.
Yeah, warrants a title shot.
She is number 4 in the official UFC women's flyweight rankings. That's awesome, I guess.
That division is terrible, so whatever.
I guess so. When they're picking number 4, and it's somebody who's had 3 flippin' fights in their career, I don't know. I don't get UFC sometimes, man. Staying on the women there, former strawweight champion Joanna Jacek and former women's bantamweight title challenger Valentina Shevchenko. Well, now I'm seeing this story says they'll fight at UFC 231 in Toronto, Canada on Saturday, December 8th. But it's impossible if Shevchenko is going to be fighting at 230. She's not going to...
They expect her to take no damage.
I guess. I don't know. Like, you're seriously going to book 2 fights in, like, back-to-back months with somebody?
People have done this.
Have they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like a smart move to me, because it's like, what if...
John Jones, when he won his first title, he won the right to fight for the title 4 weeks prior.
Okay, so is the fight at 230 a non-title fight? Or is that the title fight, and then...
That I don't know.
It's just weird. It's a weird situation, folks.
The whole division, like I said, is terrible.
Yeah, so
I don't know. So
it's terrible, so let's book it on back-to-back cards.
And not only that, it's going to headline the Garden.
Oh my gosh, I know. Well, is that the December 8th show? Is the Garden?
It's November.
The November 3rd? Okay.
3rd, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it will main event. Yeah, main event UFC 2. Yeah, the main event UFC 230 in the Garden. Valentina Shevchenko versus Who? Like,
Yeah, right.
that's ridiculous. Why do they hate New York? Like, they finally get in the Garden and they make a big deal out of it.
They couldn't give him Conor McGregor, so this is the next best thing.
I guess so. Yeah. Look, we know you can't get Conor McGregor, but there's this guy or this woman, excuse me. That's like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of wrestling equivalent. It's like, look, we're sorry Ric Flair couldn't be here this evening, but here's Kurt Hawkins.
Wow.
Like, am I wrong?
That's messed up, dude. That was a low blow.
Okay, but am I wrong? Tell me now.
Let's say you were wrong.
Okay. UFC featherweight champion Max Holloway versus top challenger Brian Ortega has been signed for December's UFC 231 in Toronto, Canada.
For now.
Why, does Holloway get hurt a lot, or?
Yep.
Oh, that's right. I remember you telling me about that. Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's see if if they hang around.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Maybe.
Yeah. Hashtag stay tuned because.
Oh God.
Because plans could change. Got him all in. Man. Last story I have. UFC wants John Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson rematch to happen before the end of the year.
We all do.
And I want Gustafsson to knock him out. Or at least beat him in 3 to 5 rounds, depending on where it is on the card. But yeah, either way, as long as Gustafsson
if that
walks
fight
out.
happens, it's going to be 5 rounds and for the UFC light heavyweight title. I guarantee it.
Man, how much would that suck if John Jones comes back and right away, after doing all that crap, he just comes right back and wins it? And they're going to sell it. Oh, what a redemption.
Loves him.
Yeah, and then they're going to, oh, what a redemption story. Nah, eat me. Screw him. I've never been.
It's always great to do drugs and then come back and get a title shot.
Brock Lesnar says hello.
Yeah.
Well, although he didn't, do what John Jones did. But, still, he got
also,
popped.
there was no allegedly with John Jones either. He really did it, too.
Yeah.
At least some people have deniability, but...
Man, this is happening, people. This is the state of the Ultimate Fighting Championship right now. This is the state of it.
Hey, the Conor McGregor Khabib Nurmagomedov fight's gonna make them billions.
Yeah.
Next couple of years won't matter.
Yeah, which is sad. They're like resting on their laurels. Book whatever the hell. They'll watch it. F them.
We'll do it live.
F it. I'll do it myself. I'll write myself and do it live. Man. Just whenever they're in trouble, just gets Connor to sweep in on his big white FU horse and win him, a bunch of money. All right, well.
That's for absolutely nothing.
That's all the news I have. Did you have anything else that I may have left out?
Yeah, Conor McGregor is going to dominate.
Well, as of the posting of this, he may have or may not have dominated. So there you go. Either you're a fortune teller or you are wrong. So, and knowing you probably jinxed him right there. So thanks a lot, Greg.
Well, then the hometown San Jose guy wins. Okay, no matter what, I win.
Wow. Either way, yeah. So there's that. Kyle and I will be coming at you on the other side of a break with what happened at Super Showdown and the Raw and SmackDown following it. But before we do that real quick, let me tell you about some of the great merch we got at redbubble.com. All you got to do is head on over to redbubble.com/people/PodRestSociety. You can see our entire portfolio of great artwork. You can get 2 different versions of the show logo on things. You can get various HCW-inspired shirts like Ramon's favorite, Hobo Effin' Wrestling. You can get a List-inspired shirt. Says, "What's the list, bro?" in Jersey Shore lettering. My favorite is Uncle Dave Says Plans Changed with 5 stars underneath it. You can get shirts, hoodies, mugs, travel mugs. stickers, whatever. And if you don't see an item that you do want one of our logos on, then let me know on social media, and we will try to hook you up in some way, shape, or form with our merch. Definitely head on over to redbubble.com/people/PODWRES Society, and you can get the look, bro. And, yeah, definitely go buy yourself some swag. And, yeah, on the other side of this break, after we let you know about some other great podcasts here on the Drama City Productions Podcast Network, Kyle and I, like I said, will be talking about all the haps from Super Showdown and the Raw and SmackDown following it. Thank you for doing the news with me today, Greg.
Bro.
And next week, we will be coming at you with the Vince Russo era of WCW Nitro, Part Trace.
Part 2 of era number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all fun. Definitely thank you all.
This is going to be a brutal one, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So you know.
Brutal, but fun. Also makes me want to cringe and cry and all that good stuff. But Part 1 and 2 were very fun. We got quite a few listens on both of those podcasts. Thank you for all of you out there who gave us a listen. If you haven't heard us before, I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to bring you more goodness next week. And from then on, also, a poll went up on Twitter, and we've got a few votes. I asked you all what you wanted us to cover after we're all done and wrapped up with the Vince Russo era in WCW. And you want to know what they picked, Greg?
Oh, please say Naked Midian.
That wasn't on the poll. No. Naked Midian on a poll. There you go.
Bro.
Bro.
The back will fall off, bro.
When he was naked, I cried, bro. But no, you all, the listeners, I gave you all a chance to vote on Twitter, and you all picked 1995, A Year in Wrestling Review.
Oh, boy, they want to put themselves through some hell.
Themselves? We're the ones watching the crap.
Yep.
They just have to hear about it. So bless their little hearts. Thank you all for... Oh, man. I will tell you, that was the one thing on the poll I was really rooting for. The other options were... a retrospective of kind of a review of Starrcade 1994, which that's kind of a spoiler of something that's going to go down in the future. I'll say that. But yeah, so
Starrcade 94.
Yes.
Hulk Hogan versus Brutus the effing Barber Beefcake.
Not just he wasn't just Brutus the Barber either. He was the Butcher. But yeah, so that was on that show.
Match was booked, and that match happened, folks.
Yes,
this is real.
That came in second, but coming in with absolutely no votes whatsoever, which kind of disappointed me a little bit, was the analysis of ECW's first ever pay-per-view. But I will say, as a spoiler, I'm hoping one of these days we do get to cover the hilarious ECW show. I can't remember which one it was, but where Sandman stole the ambulance and they were tracking his movements with the Extreme Copter.
If I remember correctly, one of them wasn't even moving.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just fun stuff. But
sure.
But anyway. So anyway, thank you all for voting. Thank you for joining me today, Greg.
Of course.
And stick around after this side of the other side of the break.
Drama City Productions.com.
Small Town Mentality Podcast with your host, Ben. A podcast about nothing and everything. A podcast where we get together with friends, drink beer, and see where the conversation takes us. We don't edit. We don't care what people say. It's small town people with a small town mentality. It gets offensive at times, lots of swearing, and a whole lot of not caring. Available everywhere you get podcasts. You can find us on Twitter at STMPod, on Instagram at STMPodcast, and on Facebook at Small Town Mentality Pod. We'll see you there.
Drama City Productions.com.
Hey, I'm Morgan Danielle.
And I'm Luco Blaze.
And you can check us out on www.themetalexperience.com for the latest interviews featuring punk and metal bands from the Chicago area. And on our website, you can read interviews and reviews from bands all over the world in our blog section, either on Reviews from the Crypt or the Let's Chat Q&A sessions.
Also, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And remember to keep it metal.
Woo!
All right, we are back, and I am here not with Greg anymore, but rather with Kyle. And you know what that means. We are here to do some reviewing of Super Showdown. What is up, Kyle?
What is going on?
Well, you are the I guess reviewer-in-chief here on the podcast officially, because while Greg and I will review historical events, you and I always do the current events, because that's just how we do it here on the Podcast Wrestling Society, growing the society each and every day. What do you think of Super Showdown?
It really exceeded my expectations. I didn't think it would be all that special. I thought it'd be a lot like the Greatest Royal Rumble event, but
Yeah.
no, this show is a lot better than a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, while I didn't think it was amazing, I thought it was a pretty good show, especially for what it was. It had some highlights in it for sure, which we will get to, and yeah, I mean, it had some down moments, but all in all, I thought it was a fairly good outing for Australia there, in front of 70,000 people at the Melbourne Cricket Grounds. Man, I never thought that WWE would be live in a cricket grounds, but what the hell ever. And it's not a field or a pitch. It is a grounds. So I guess that's whatever.
I didn't even know what they were in. I just knew they were down in Melbourne, Australia somewhere, so that's interesting. A place where they play cricket. Wow.
Well, what amazes me the most is that a cricket arena, whatever, holds 70,000 plus people. Like, holy crap. I didn't think that many people gave a crap, but apparently they do. So, but anyway, before we dive headfirst into this event, I want to let everybody know, speaking of growing the society, we are, as of the recording of this, 14 followers away on Twitter from hitting the big 300 followers to the society. So if you want to be next and you want to help us grow the society, definitely spread the word. Our tags on all social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter are all the same. It's Pod Res Society, PODWRES Society. Definitely go hit us up there. You won't regret it. Lots of great content. I try to keep up with social media as much as possible. Admittedly, I keep up with Twitter the most. Facebook, so. Instagram, I keep up with probably second. And Twitter, I have an addiction. I'm just going to admit it. I'm constantly checking Twitter. So if you want to stay updated on the show in all facets, twitter.com @PodRest Society. So definitely go give us a follow there. All right, well, let's dive into this event here. Super Showdown took place October 6th, and you and I were wrong last week on our predictions. We had said 4 a.m. was the start time. I got on the app at 4 a.m. and was disappointed. It started at 5 a.m. So I was let down. But I would have been more let down if I would have woken up at that time to see it. But I was already awake. I did the overnight, so, whatever. I just had to wait a little extra. But as I said I was going to do, I only watched part of the show. I watched until the end of the WWE title match, shut it off, came back to it later in the day, finished it up. Good show. I avoided all spoilers as well, so that was good. What about you?
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, I stayed off social media the entire time, especially. That's really hard for me to do, especially when I'm at work and when I have 2 breaks during an 8-hour shift.
Right.
I have to find another way to entertain myself for 15 minutes or so. So, yeah, it was a success. I was able to do the same thing to the Greatest Royal Rumble events. So,
Yeah. Well, there you go. And hopefully you're able to do the same thing for Crown Jewel.
I'm thinking about requesting that day off. That way I don't have to. So,
that one is actually building up to look good. However, this isn't breaking news. This was announced recently, but it's been announced since between the time Greg and I recorded and now, which has been a couple of days. I know, giving away trade secrets, but they have moved Crown Jewel from the venue that it was in last time for the Greatest Royal Rumble to a smaller venue that only holds 25,000 people. So I don't know why. They didn't give an explanation. But, yeah, I mean, 25,000 is still respectable, but compared to what they had last time in that King Solomon or whatever the hell venue there, this is smaller. So, and they didn't really give a reason, especially when we're less than a month away from Crown Jewel, and they did this. So, I don't know. Interesting. But, yeah, we'll see.
Surprising. It sounds like a much bigger event than what the Royal Rumble thing was, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We'll get into some of that in a minute. Let's dive into the results here. The New Day defeated Cesaro and Sheamus DeBar in 9.5 minutes. They retained the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I will admit I was a little upset about that one. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the New Day, but it's not, I don't know. I wanted the Bar to win. I thought it was their time.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to get the tag titles as well. I'm not really surprised I didn't do a title change at this show. Hopefully they'll find another way to get the Bar another match.
Yeah.
A lot of times they'll just throw together another tag team title match just for no reason whatsoever. So.
Well, the thing is, the New Day's run through everybody. I mean, until they bring the Usos back, I guess. But they've beaten them before too, so they're going through the lineup all over again. I don't know. But you guessed or predicted the New Day. I predicted the Bar, so you're up 1-0. Next match saw Charlotte Flair actually got the win over Becky Lynch, but only by disqualification in just shy of 11 minutes. Becky, when she was in the figure 8, Becky grabbed her title, started whipping Charlotte with it, which I've never seen that before. But, yeah. So she retains the title, and both of us had guessed Becky Lynch. So while she did retain the title, both of us were wrong. Neither one of us get a point for that one.
Yeah, I was wondering how we scored that one. I knew officially, Charlotte got the win via DQ. I didn't know if we were just...
Well, she got the W.
The outcome there, or...
Yeah, well, judging by the fact that she got the W, we both lose. Even though, like I said, Becky walked out with the title. Follow-up to that, SmackDown, they opened the show with a rematch, which I thought was good. The match itself I thought was fantastic. Both of them, however, these two can't have a bad match. I think that's physically impossible.
I agree. Like, I normally get tired of seeing the same matches over and over again, but if we get a Becky Lynch Charlotte Flair match every week, I don't think I'd complain because it's never bad.
Yeah, these two of the best female wrestlers on the entire roster, top to bottom, all three brands. They're fantastic. But, follow-up to that, keeping on that, whatever, the match, they got a double count-out on SmackDown, so it was a draw, and then after the match, they fight around a little bit, and then Charlotte spears Becky through the frickin' LED board up on the stage. That was crazy. I thought it was awesome. And Paige has officially booked for Evolution a last woman standing match between Charlotte and Becky. There shall be a winner. Winner is the SmackDown Women's Champion. So,
yeah, and that spear that Charlotte gave Becky actually cut Charlotte's hand open. Pretty good too. Like, that's how often do you see a woman get busted open?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It was a cool spot. These two beat the absolute hell out of each other. I was a little scared for Charlotte Flair doing that missed moonsault to the outside. She landed. She almost over rotates on it, and she almost landed square on her butt, but she caught herself on her feet, luckily, and was able to roll backwards. So
as tall as she is, I'm just afraid that she's gonna land the wrong way and really hurt her knee one of these days.
She could.
I love seeing her do the moonsault, but it's every time she does that, I'm just hoping she lands it right.
Yeah, well, she needs to talk to Chris Jericho about constantly missing a moonsault and landing on your feet, because Jericho, you could tell, would always mess his knee up in the past doing that. I think he's finally said it's look, I'm only going to do that spot once in a blue moon now. Match number 3, Bobby Lashley and John Cena, who has longer hair now and one of the lamest shirts I've ever seen him wear. They defeated the team of Elias and Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens and Elias opened the show, or opened the match, whatever. They didn't get an entrance. They got the whole spotlight treatment and doing a little bit of a song, crapping on Australia. They made some local sports references that I didn't get. And then Kevin Owens said, I told them Super Showdown should have been in Canada. So that was fun. Nice little cheap heat stuff, but it worked. They got booed. And then Bobby Lashley came out without Leo Rush. I guess he didn't make the flight. Don't know why, but whatever.
I wasn't complaining about that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to that here in a moment. But sticking with this, John Cena came out in a brand new T-shirt. My God, they whoever's designing the new shirts in WWE, I said this before, it needs to be crap canned right now. Just fire them. Because all it is a plain black shirt, and the front says, "You can't stop me," and then the back says, "You can't see me." And just bland white lettering.
I was shocked that it was black. I was really expecting some bright color. That's rare for a Cena shirt.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind him going back to the black. However, have the design be something interesting. But it's not. It's just, this is the most bland shirt he's had in years.
Yeah. You
can tell they were just trying to pump something out, and they ran out of ideas.
And you mentioned his new hairstyle. Was I the only one that was thinking when I saw him, John Bradshaw Cena?
Yeah, that's been the meme all over Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Everybody's just, they said, well, he goes from feuding with JBL to becoming JBL. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
My wife said that it looks like it ages him and he needs to go shave his hair now. But she said, he looks like a dad. I'm like a dorky dad. And I'm like, yeah, a little bit. And then I've seen other people, they were like, doesn't he look like, the dad that comes in the room and is like, hey, Tyke, how's it going?
Wasn't he in a movie recently where he played like a dorky dad type character? I thought.
Yeah, he was in that Blockers movie, but he didn't have that hairstyle in it. He had his old military cut going on. I did not watch Blockers. It looks so stupid.
Yeah.
And I don't like the one guy in it that's like one of the other dads that's in the movie with him. I can't stand anything that guy is in. Neighbors, that, just whatever. But anyway, the match ends with John Cena hitting Elias with the attitude adjustment and then just waiting, and Elias stands up and he hits him with that stupid thunder back fist thingy. And then Corey Graves goes, says what it's called in Mandarin and says that John Cena's been in China he was in China for a whole month or something like that studying Mandarin. I don't care. I don't think any of us care. Good for him. He likes being in China, I guess. Whatever.
it was interesting how this match played out. Bobby Lashley was in there 95% of the time, and then the last minute and a half, Cena gets the hot tag and comes in there and finishes the thing. Like, wow.
Yep. This match went 10 minutes, 5 seconds. John Cena delivered a promo at the end of the match, saying it was good to be back home in the WWE, blah, blah, blah. Didn't really say anything of any substance. So, yeah, I mean, international show, Cena got to talk.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back home in WWE. I'll see you guys in 6 months.
Yeah. No, he'll see us in a couple weeks at the, well, sort of, at the Crown Jewel event. So.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's going to be in that World Cup tournament or whatever the hell they're calling it. Yeah, we'll get to that as well. Bobby Lashley, to follow up on Raw. Who did he take on again?
Kevin Owens.
Okay. Well, it seems like they're trying to do a double turn, even though Owens has a ton of heel heat, which is surprising because you can never get that man booed, but now he's being booed. But he was full-on babyface in this match, sort of. I mean, he wasn't acting babyface, but he was getting a babyface reaction. Not with Elias at all, by the way. And Bobby Lashley came out with Lio Rush doing a whole heel routine. Leo's like talking smack throughout the whole match. You know, he's reminding me of what they were doing with, do you remember Abraham Washington? He was on the ECW brand for a while, and he was the original manager of the Primetime Players. For those of you that don't remember, he got fired because he used to make like jokes and puns and whatever, and he made a joke about, he said the Primetime Players are like Kobe Bryant in a hotel room. You can't stop them, which is a rape joke.
Wow.
Yeah, and he got fired immediately. So, yeah. And he had a short-lived talk show on the ECW brand. You don't remember that, the Abraham Washington show, where Tony Atlas would like do that stupid laugh?
I don't think I was.
Oh, man.
That was probably during the time when I probably wasn't watching a whole lot. So.
Yeah, he was a manager for a couple people, but like if I recall correctly, during the Primetime Players matches, he would be on the mic throughout the whole match, just like interjecting stupid jokes and yelling crap out of the mic and whatever. So they're doing that with Lio Rush, and Leo's got that voice that makes you want to punch him in the face. So there's that, and Kevin Owens.
And the attitude.
Well, yeah. And, they did the same routine they do every single week. Kevin Owens went after him, and he did his whole, like, jumping around, flipping, and whatever else routine, and then Bobby Lashley cut him off. So, yeah, and it appeared, and, man, Bobby and Lio got booed hard. So, and they were embracing it, so they were clearly turning Bobby heel, which I did not see coming, but I don't hate it.
I didn't either.
I think it's a nice little reboot for his character here, see where it goes. And hopefully maybe they're turning KO babyface? I don't know. I can't tell.
I heard somewhere that Kevin Owens is going to be out for a while.
Why?
He's had like knee surgery or something.
Oh, man, that sucks. Well, maybe he'll come back and be a big old babyface. We'll see.
Kevin Owens is a babyface. That would be interesting.
I wouldn't hate it. It's
No.
happened before. I mean, I don't think in WWE, but it's happened.
I
Next,
could see him being like kind of like a smart-ass babyface, kind of like how Jericho is.
yeah, he could pull it off for sure. I mean, he gets cheered anyway. So, next match on the card, the Iconics. They were home. They took on Asuka and Naomi. This match was less than 6 minutes. The Iconics came out, got a decent pop. I mean, I don't know if I didn't hear much like from the crowd, like too much during their entrance, but I can't tell if that's because of the arena the way it is, or just because, like, I don't know. And I mean, the crowd was into them. They were just, they didn't blow up or anything, but they came out and gave a babyface speech coming to the ring, talking about being home and whatever, and They played to the crowd a lot during the match, and they got the win. So that was
Which is good
cool.
for them. They
Yeah.
I feel like they really needed something. They really haven't been given a whole lot since
Right.
they brought them to the main roster. So it's just
Yeah, I like it. Especially with Peyton lost to Asuka last week on SmackDown, so they get their heat back. They get the win. They didn't even cheat to get the win either. They just won. So it was cool.
with Naomi taking the pin instead of Asuka, not a huge surprise there.
Yeah.
Trying to keep Asuka looking somewhat still as a dominant force. Well, maybe not dominant, but
I would actually like, and I mean, I don't know the ratio right now of heels to faces in the SmackDown women's roster. I kind of want Asuka to turn heel, but if she does stay face, I would like her to, become like the no nonsense, like I'm a baby face, but I'm not, I'm more of like an anti-hero type deal like she did in NXT for a while.
yeah.
Like I want that Asuka back, not the, I'm going to come out with Naomi in black light and do some dancing and whatever. Like I don't care about that. She's not a fun baby face. Just like make her a badass again, please. You and I both, by the way, forgot to mention, got the Cena and Lashley pick right. That one was kind of obvious. And you and I also both picked the Iconics, so we got that correct. Their family, by the way, their families were in the crowd. They showed afterwards. They said this is the first time their families have ever seen them wrestle. So,
wow.
I mean, live. So that was cool for them. They got real emotional about it in like a post-show thingy. Yeah. The next match really shocked me the way it worked out. It was a no count out, no DQ match for the WWE title. AJ Styles defeated Samoa Joe in 23 minutes, 45 seconds. This was the second longest match on the card. It was in the middle of the show, which, I mean, I don't know. They usually do that with one of the two main events. But considering, like, the WWE title, they always, like, sink it down low on the card. Just really, I don't know. It annoys me when they do that.
Yeah. And this match was a main event quality match.
Hell yeah, it was.
Not just given it who was in it and what it was for, but I mean the match itself was great.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. These two beat the hell out of each other. They did a spot that the turning point in the match was, at first I thought it was real because of it looked like they didn't plan this part out, but obviously they did, and you could tell later on they did, where they set up a table and AJ back suplexed Samoa Joe into it, but he kind of turned weird and Joe's knee hit the table when he came down, and Joe starts writhing around in pain, and the camera's close enough to hear what he's saying, and he's telling the ref, he said, I heard a pop, and he's trying to keep AJ away for a while, but AJ kind of pulls the ref away, just starts beating the hell out of Joe. At one point, he does the 450, the springboard 450 onto the knee, which was different and cool, and he freaking makes him tap to the calf crusher.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, I get it with, they're trying to, AJ is the big, dominant baby face, and he finally, after all of the, Joe going after his family and everything, he finally made him tap out and humiliated him back or whatever. But, man, it's just, like, what the hell? Samoa Joe tapped out. Not cool, man. I don't know.
And just selling the knee right there.
Yeah. Well, and he kept it going on SmackDown too, because he was in a World Cup tournament qualifier thing for Crown Jewel, and he lost to Jeff Hardy because the referee called the match off because Samoa Joe couldn't put any weight on his knee after a while. So I don't know where the hell they're going with this. I don't know. Do you have any speculation?
I I don't know. Maybe some of it's real. I mean, I haven't seen. Like, I didn't see the referee give the signal that there's a legit injury during either of those matches.
Yeah.
But
Well, you got that pick right, by the way. You picked AJ. I picked Joe. So, see, 2 for both of us there, and then you had 1, and 2. Okay, so you were up 4-2 on me right now, doing the math in my head. But yeah, so the next match, you and I both got correct here. So you're up 5-3. It is Ronda Rousey and the Bella Twins defeated the Riot Squad via submission. It was 10 minutes, 5 seconds. Rousey put both Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan in a double arm bar and made them tap at the same time. That was pretty cool to see. The Bella Twins got their stuff in. Ronda got her stuff in. And Ruby Riott actually has a tan now. I guess she was out in the Australia sun. Did you notice that?
yeah, it's got a little bit. Like, she used to be quite pale when, like when she debuted. But yeah,
She back in the Indies, she used to have a bit of a tan to her, and then when she went to WWE, she was just like flat pale. But now, like, she must have got to Australia early and just been out like sunbathing or something, because she came out and I'm like, wow, she's got her old Indies tan back. So I think she looks good with a tan. I mean, she looks good regardless, but that's beside the point. Liv Morgan with rocking the full pink hair and all that. Didn't hate it. I love all these women in this match. I mean, I don't like the Bella Twins in the ring, but that's beside the point. They was what it was.
I think the Riot Squad deserves a lot more. They're a lot better than what they're being showed.
Yeah, I know. I hope they get their spot soon, like a good, good spot. They compared them to like a female Shield, and it didn't. Yeah, it's like, no, the Shield didn't do as many jobs as the Riot Squad does.
Yeah.
However, they do on occasion make Ruby look strong, so that's good. I would like to see her have a run with the title within the next year, but I don't know. We'll see how it works out.
And I really think Sarah Logan could be a big star.
Yeah, she could.
Something in her that.
Yeah, I could see Sarah Logan doing something. I could see Liv Morgan doing something in the future, too. She's a little cute and whatever, so, I know Vince likes them, as seen in Alexa Bliss. I wouldn't know. I haven't seen her really cut any promos, but I don't think Liv Morgan has the mic skills that Alexa does, but you never know.
Right.
Speaking of...
They're never put in that position, so who knows?
Yeah, I know. Speaking of runs with the title, you and I both got this next pick correct. Cedric Alexander's over-year-long streak of never being beaten and holding on to that cruiserweight title for a long time finally came to an end as Buddy Murphy had a huge homecoming. Crowd blew up for him like a god, which was crazy to me. I mean, I get that he's hometown boy, but good Lord, they like bowed to this guy.
Isn't he supposed to be a heel?
He is, yeah. But in Australia, it's,
He wouldn't watch this match.
Oh, I know. The crowd went nuts for him. But yeah, Buddy Murphy got the win. He's the new cruiserweight champ. Started the match hot with a big old running V trigger. And I was like, holy crap, is that it? No, it was not it. They had, in my opinion, one of the best matches of the night. It was top 3.
Oh, yeah, this was an amazing match. I didn't know what to expect from it. I'd never seen Buddy Murphy wrestle. I've seen Cedric Alexander many times. Always been impressed with him, but
I haven't sat and watched like a whole Buddy Murphy match. I don't know if ever, but I've seen clips, like highlights of his matches, and he's been doing pretty good lately. But he finally won with at one point Cedric hit the lumbar check, and I was like, it's over. But he kicked out. I'm like, man, that's awesome. And then he goes for a springboard, and Buddy catches him in midair with a V-trigger knee. I don't know if he just calls it the pump knee or whatever the hell, but I'm calling it that because that's what Kenny Omega calls it. But anyway, he hit the knee in midair, picked him up, and he hit that like a pump handle spinning slam deal. And it was kind of a cool finisher. And then he wins. New Cruiserweight champ, baby. So that's that. Next, we go to the second six-person match of the night. It was The Shield defeating Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre, the Dogs of War, in 19 minutes and 40 seconds. This was the third longest match of the night. If I hear Michael Cole yell "Brothers to the Bone" one more time, I'm going to vomit.
Yeah.
He said it like 5 times during this match. He said it at least twice or 2 or 3 times on frickin' Raw. Like, mother of God, I get it. They're brothers. And it, like, they wrote, like, Vince McMahon wrote that on a paper like 20 times. It was like, say it.
They're brothers. Was that Vince McMahon or was that Hulk Hogan screaming in his ear?
Brothers, brother. But yeah, so it was a good match. I mean, it always is with these 6. I enjoyed it. They had a rematch. They teased it at the show at Super Showdown, and I was like, they're not gonna. They've made it too obvious where they can't do it now. They teased where all the Dean Ambrose is gonna break off from the group, and he's gonna turn on his brothers, but it didn't happen. He joined with them, and then they all, put their fists together at the end of the match, signaling that, all is well in Shield world, I guess.
Yeah, Ambrose ends up getting the pin on Ziggler too.
Yeah, so there you go. He gets the W for his team. And then on Raw, they had a rematch because reasons.
Well, yeah.
And freaking at the end, Drew McIntyre got the win. That's right. He got the win on Ambrose, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he hit the Claymore, got the win after the Dogs of War looked so disorganized and it looked like they were going to lose for sure. Drew McIntyre comes out of nowhere with that damn Claymore and gets the win on Dean. And then Dean walks out on his brothers to the bone and just walks to the back and leaves him. So they're still teasing it, even though they look to squash it at Super Showdown. I guess that's non-canon, whatever.
Maybe Ambrose just had to use the bathroom really badly after the match,
Are we done here? I've got to take a crap. For any of you that remember Austin Powers 3. But, yeah, so there was that. The second to main event match of the night shocked the hell out of me. By the way, both of us picked the Shield for that one, so there's another ding. The second to main event match of the night, it was Daniel Bryan getting the win over The Miz to become the number 1 contender for the WWE title. That wasn't the most shocking of the match, though. The most shocking thing is it was over before it began. 2 minutes, 25 seconds. Bryan gets a roll-up, gets the win. Everybody and their mother is shocked.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a match. It was just a meeting, I guess. I don't know. I had picked The Miz. You picked Daniel Bryan, so there's another tick for you.
Yeah, it was almost like it was a botched finish or something as quickly as it went.
Yeah, I thought that too, because they did a small package, and it was 1, 2, 3, and at first I was like, did Miz forget to kick out, or did something mess up or whatever? And I'm like, no, they had the pin on like real tight the whole time and made sure that it stuck. So I mean, you could tell it was, they did it on purpose. Like, Okie dokie then.
And they had the graphic on the screen almost immediately. You know, Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles at Crown Jewel for the WWE titles. I mean, Bryan was supposed to go over.
Looks like, yeah. Well, and then on on SmackDown, they had an episode of Miz TV where the Miz called out both of them, and both of them basically talked crap on the Miz the whole time, which seems to be what happens on Miz TV. And then when Miz felt the heat, you know, it looked like they might do something physical to him and he wanted to talk crap, he gets out of the ring and talks crap on the apron before taking off. Oh, man. I don't know. It was cool though. I'm very much looking forward to seeing AJ versus Daniel.
Oh yeah.
And they had
you got a preview of that in person on the SmackDown after Mania, and I wasn't disappointed.
Yes.
I was disappointed that there wasn't an outcome, but I mean that was a great match leading up to it.
Yep,
what I got to see.
They're probably going to tear the house down at Crown Jewel. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to that match. That's one of the only. Actually, believe it or not, I'm actually looking to this forward to this Crown Jewel card. Like so far, it looks good. Main event of the night, you and I both got it right. It was Triple H with Shawn Michaels defeating The Undertaker with Kane in his corner, 27 minutes, 35 seconds. Triple H apparently made it no DQ, so you knew it was going to happen. And let me say a couple things about this. One, why the hell is Kane out there? Like, he didn't really do anything, right? Like, he got put through a table.
Yeah, he got put through a table,
But the thing is, like, the whole reason for him being out there, wasn't it to be the equalizer since Triple H was bringing out Shawn? And Shawn kept getting involved, and The Undertaker was the one that had to beat him away. Kane didn't do anything.
I think a lot of the times that might have been after Kane was put to the table, though.
No, it was before. Shawn kept popping up on the apron, or he kept distracting the ref, or doing something, or slipping in, whatever. Kane just stood there the whole time. He got involved one time, and when he did, he got super kicked, and he got put through the table. That was it. Past that, he did nothing. He was just a big red idiot over in the corner.
I guess he just wanted a trip to Australia, I guess. I don't know.
I guess so. He wanted to get paid for sitting on the beach. It was weird. I don't know why the hell he was there other than the finish. And we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, Shawn got involved a lot. You knew where it was going. You knew how it was going to go. But it took a chair, a sledgehammer, Shawn Michaels, and everything else under the sun. Finally, Triple H beat The Undertaker after all this time. And they had finally. Oh, thank God. Oh, you did. It's like, yeah, Shawn had this look on his face, and you could see him yell, finally. And it's like, yeah. He was like, man, about damn time after, we basically dropped a nuke on him for you to freaking be able to beat him. It was stupid.
But this match had a lot of good storytelling to it, and it had a lot of things that you saw in previous matches between Triple H and The Undertaker. It reminded me a lot of WrestleMania 17. There is a spot in the match where Undertaker hit Triple H with a tombstone. Everybody probably thought it was over. Triple H kicked out at the last second. Undertaker got pissed and actually knocked out the referee. I think the same thing happened in their match at 17. And they also went out into the crowd and had a brawl, which they did in the 17 match as well. And
the only thing that annoyed me about that brawl in the crowd was The Undertaker just like gingerly was holding Triple H by the head, just like walking him around all over the place, and Triple H wouldn't do anything. I'm like, is he seriously just like out on his feet and you're able to just like walk him around like a child in the store? Like, do something to him. Punch him every once in a blue moon. Something. But it was a weird thing. I don't know. I didn't care for it. But I mean, I'm picking at nits right now, but all in all, it was a fairly decent outing for two old men. They did really well, four old men. They did really well, I thought. And in the end, they're all hugging. Triple H is literally crying because, oh, I finally beat The Undertaker. Thank God. Like, yeah, the one person you have not been able to successfully bury in your career. Good for you. But he wins, and, they're all shaking hands and celebrating, all four of them in the ring. And then they look like they're getting ready to go, and Undertaker and Kane just knock the hell out of them. They put Shawn Michaels through the announcer table. They tombstone Triple H. It was, yeah, and they leave him laying. Then we see on Raw, they come out in their singles t-shirts, and Triple H is he's in the game mode. He's not in COO mode because he came out in a t-shirt, jeans, and leather jacket. And then Shawn Michaels comes out, and they're talking crap about what happened, at Super Showdown. They rip off their shirts, and they've got brand new DX t-shirts underneath them that looks like a motorcycle club. They're okay. Like, the new shirts, they're all right. I'm not going to buy one, but they're okay looking. But yeah, so they make it official. It's going to be the Brothers of Destruction versus D-Generation X at Crown Jewel.
Yeah, the worst kept secret in WWE. Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement.
Yep. And he's going to be taking a 16-hour flight and getting paid a boatload of money to have a 20-minute match in Saudi Arabia. Good for him, I guess. But from what I hear, it's leading up to another old man versus old man match between Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. So
yeah, I could see that.
Take that for what it's worth.
And it kind of makes sense that he'd come out of, like, how long you said, oh, I've stayed out, I've stayed retired due to respect to, for The Undertaker and everything. And now he comes out of retirement, but he's working with Taker. So it's kind of, it's still there, like the respect for Taker. So it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I will say, final tally here is you blew me away on picks. I mean, the only ones that I got correct were the ones that you and I picked the same one. I think the only one that you missed was picking Becky Lynch to win that match. She did retain the title, so you were like half right. Everything else, you got all the picks correctly. The only I did not. So, but whatever. It was a fun show. I don't mind about getting the picks right or wrong.
Something we didn't touch on. I just realized
the women's thing.
Well, what happened? Yeah, what happened on Raw after the Bella Twins and Ronda Rousey? There was a rematch again for whatever reason.
The two 6-person matches, they rematched them on Raw because, again, reasons. And I guess they wanted to have the happy ending at Super Showdown, so they didn't do anything then. The Bellas, even though they showed at the beginning of the match, Ronda was arguing with Nikki over who was going to start the match, and they kind of planted a little seed there. They kind of argue again on Raw, although this time it's all three of them in an argument over who's going to start, and Brie decides she's going to do it, so she starts the match. But at Super Showdown, they all celebrate together. Yay, yay, we're all BFFs. On Raw, not so much. After the match, the Bellas clock Ronda from behind. They get into it, and Ronda starts beating them down herself, but Brie comes up from behind and shoves her head first into the ring post, and they beat her down, and that's that. But they've basically proven that it's going to be Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey at Evolution.
Yeah, and I thought they were going to do this at the Super Showdown, but
yeah,
they for the following night on Raw. So
they probably should have, but yeah, they were like, nope, we're going to do it then. So it looks like that's where they're going. I guess they officially booked Nikki versus Ronda at Evolution for the Raw Women's title, and I just hope to God that Ronda destroys her.
So that's all you need to do if you want a title shot in WWE. Just attack the champion.
I guess so. That's the way it seems like it goes. It doesn't work that way on heels. If a heel gets attacked, he ain't giving you crap. But baby faces are stupid. I don't know. What makes anybody think that Nikki deserves a title shot anyway? Because she's a Bella? Who cares?
Yeah, that's the role, isn't it?
I guess. She's not dating John Cena anymore, so that's not an excuse. I don't know why they have such a soft spot for frickin' her. The title matches on the card so far are the only things that are booked. Well, they do have a tag match and the Mae Young Classic Tournament Finals on Evolution, which is cool. They've got Kairi Sane defending the NXT Women's title against Shayna Baszler. That should be good.
Yeah, and you mentioned the tag match. It's going to be Mickie James and Alexa Bliss taking on Trish Stratus and Lita. That was originally going to be 2 one-on-one matches.
Yeah, I know. I don't know when they made the switch because people were just complaining about that online. I guess that's the thing. You complain online, they change it. And that never happens. But it did this time.
I was kind of looking forward to the 2 one-on-one matches. I mean, Mickie James and Lita, there's a lot of history there, and I think they could still put on a good match. And Trish and Alexa Bliss, those two have been,
I think they were looking down the card, and they're like, we don't have any tag matches. So, I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of other women to throw on this card. They've only got 6 matches, well, 5.5 matches booked so far.
Thought they said they're going to have like over 50 women perform at this match. There's got to be like a big battle royal or something.
Yeah, it's got to be. The only thing I can think of. Because right now we got Ronda Rousey defending the Raw Women's Championship against Nikki Bella. Becky Lynch defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair. Kairi Sane defending the NXT Women's Championship against Shayna Baszler. And Rhea Ripley will be defending the UK Women's Championship against to be determined. They haven't said yet. I love me some Rhea Ripley for multiple reasons. We got the tag team match playa between real-life BFFs, Trish Stratus and Lita, and on-screen BFFs, Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. And then the Mae Young Classic Tournament Finals.
I think Mickie and Alexa really are good friends in real life because they were both at the American Music Awards last night.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, it might also be, it's like, well, you guys are on screen together, so go together. So, I mean, they do that kind of stuff all the time. So, you never know. We'll see. But, yeah, so it's shaping up to look okay thus far. However, I guess a lot of people have been complaining about this card. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to complain about it yet. I wasn't really super looking forward to it to begin with, so whether or not it sucks doesn't matter to me. It's a thrown together show, so whatever. It's I know a lot of female wrestling fans are looking forward to it, but
I bet
it's something. It's a spectacle.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it because it's something different,
Yeah, I don't know. We just get 3 pay-per-views in a month. It's a little crazy. Real quick.
But we don't get like a big official pay-per-view until November with Survivor Series. It looks like.
Yeah, I mean they're treating they treated this past show, and they're treating Crown Jewel as a big show. But I don't know. But yeah, an actual PPV, yeah, we don't get until Survivor Series. I did want to make mention real quick that Edge will be holding a special edition of the Cutting Edge on SmackDown 1000, which is going on next week. Evolution reforms. The Undertaker will be there. So that's something.
There's going to be a confrontation there.
Yeah, could be. Never know. And
I can't think of any other reason why they'd reform Evolution on SmackDown when that was a Raw faction.
yeah, I know. It's a little odd. Real quick to go over what's going on this weekend. Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory show. It's their biggest show of the year, for whatever that's worth. Just the matches that are booked thus far, I'm seeing. There's going to be the main event is Austin Aries defending the Impact Wrestling Championship against Johnny Impact, or Johnny Mundo, John Morrison, Johnny Nitro, whatever the hell you want to call him. Let's see. The Tessa Blanchard will be defending the Women's Championship against Taya Valkyrie, who is married to Johnny Impact. A Concrete Jungle Death Match, whatever the hell that is. The Latin American Exchange, Santana, Ortiz, and Conan will take on the OGs, Hernandez, Homicide, and King. OVE Rules match, which whatever the hell that is, too. Ohio versus Everything, Dave Christ, Jake Christ, and Sami Callihan will take on Brian Cage, Phoenix, and Pentagon Jr. One-on-one, Eddie Edwards versus Moose. And a tag team match, Matt Sydal and Ethan Page versus Rich Swann and To Be Determined. So, if any of you give a damn, that is what is going on. I guess Ethan Page is brand new there, so all ego Ethan Page. So, tune in for that, or don't. I'm not going to. So, whatever. By the way, somebody tweeted Chris Jericho and said, I think I Am Jericho should be at the Crown Jewel for the World Cup. And he tweeted back and said, no thanks.
Yeah, I just saw that here a few minutes ago. So I guess that confirms that Jericho's going to be there.
Maybe. I don't know. He just popped up in New Japan at their recent pay-per-view. So I don't know what he did. I don't know if he defended that Intercontinental Championship or not. I haven't really been paying much of attention. But Rey Mysterio is going to be in a qualifying match, I assume, next week at SmackDown 1000.
Next week. Yep.
Who's he taking on again?
Shinsuke Nakamura.
That's right. Yeah, that'll be a good one. So SmackDown 1000 should be fun, should be a good show. Looking forward to it. And Bound for Glory should be whatever the hell it is. So, yeah. Anything else, Kyle, that I might be forgetting?
Nothing I can think of.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm sure something will come to me once we get done recording, but...
Right. Well, for those of you who have not done it yet, definitely go to YouTube, search for the Podcast Wrestling Society, find our channel, like our videos, subscribe, hit the little bell to get notified whenever there is a new video. A couple days ago, I posted me and Greg's UFC 229 wrap-up. You can also see that video if you go to wrestlingwithwrestling.com. It is on there. And a little article I wrote up about the incident that took place in the main event of UFC 229 and the investigation going on in the matter by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. And we are also, if it is not posted today, it will be posted tomorrow. I am posting the top 10 betrayals in wrestling history that Greg and I have done for The List Bro. And next week, Greg and I are back at it again. We are bringing you part trace of the Vince Russo era of WCW, running down all the craziness on Nitro and the pay-per-views. This is part 2 of his part 2 in WCW, because he was there for about 3 months, got sent home, got brought back with Bischoff a couple months later, and now things are just bat crap banana crazy all over WCW. So tune in for that. It's going to be a good one next week. And then next time you and I talk, Kyle, we will be giving our we will be giving our Evolution predictions, and then doing our Evolution rundown. So if all of you are looking forward to Evolution, definitely tune in for that. Even if you're not looking forward to Evolution, just tune in. It'll be fun, trust me. And like I said, go to youtube.com, search for the Podcast Wrestling Society, like, subscribe, join the society, and give your comments and all that. I appreciate the feedback, I really do. And follow us on social media at PodRest Society. Thank you for joining me today, Kyle.
Not a problem.
And we will see you all on the flip side. Later!
This has been a Drama City production.